So a week ago, I asked you guys about questions that you like to ask me just to celebrate our 2000 subscribers on YouTube. Now, as a YouTuber, I've always told you that I don't really care about these numbers, subscribers and views. But what I do care about is you. And yeah, the intention of this video is just to interact with you and to celebrate this little win with you. So thank you for showing your support, for being here, for subscribing, for your positive response, and for sticking around with me. And with that said, let's address the Instagram questions first, starting off with what happens after you die. Now, there's a safe answer to this, and that is,
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
what a beautiful response by Keanu Reeves. Yeah, of course, he's the best. But yeah, I'm a Muslim and I believe that when you die, you are going to be answerable for everything that you've done in this world. Every good, every bad. After you die, there is going to be an ultimate judgment. And the way that the Quran describes it is that people will be separated into different groups. The ones who will be given the good news and the ones who will be given the bad news according to the deeds that they did. And yeah, whosoever did an atom's weight of good will see the reward. And whoever did an atom's weight of evil will see its punishment. This world, of course, it's temporary. And death is the only constant that will never, ever change. Everyone will taste death. Yeah, as long as we are alive, we should try to make the world a better place. And just remember that this world is just temporary. The real life, it starts after you die. Now, I don't want a religious war in the comment section, alright? This is what I believe as a Muslim. And death is a constant reminder for us to just do good in the world. Because yeah, maybe I am powerful enough to oppress someone who's not as strong as me. But then I will be answerable in the day of judgment after I die. And yeah, this is what I believe. A good person is not the person who does not harm anyone. A good person is the person who can harm someone, but decides not to. I mean, if you're a weak guy, if you're a weak man, and you can't do anything, you can't do shit, then you're not a good person. You're just weak. But if you're strong and you can get away doing bad stuff, but you still decide not to, that is when I think you are virtuous. That is when I think you are a good person. Because you have the capability to do it, but you don't do it. And yeah, as Jordan Peterson describes, you should be a monster. Then you should learn how to control it. Moving on to the next question. Can we earn a good amount by doing digital sculpting? And what do you think about AI in digital? The way I want you to think about this is, do you see someone else doing well while doing art? Do you see someone making a living while doing digital sculpting? If the answer is yes, then just ask yourself, why not you? Now, I've been making a living as an artist for the past 4 years. I've been working as a 3D generalist in a mobile game company. The company ran away and I'm jobless now. More about that in another video. If you see other creators, if you see other artists making a living doing what they love, then you can as well. Now, you want to know that making art and then making money doing art, they are completely different subjects. Okay, you can be the best artist, but if you don't know how to market yourself, if you don't know how to position yourself in the right place in the right time, then you won't get any opportunities. All of my experience of making a living as an artist has come from platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, and there are pros and cons to that. Previously, I would recommend someone to maybe open an Upwork account or a Fiverr account, but let me give you the reality of these platforms. These platforms are extremely competitive. And the bad part about these platforms is that the competition over there is on the price. So there is always going to be someone who is way more experienced than you, better than you, and then offering what you want to offer for cheaper. And what do you think the client is going to do? Just imagine that you are a client on one of these platforms, and then you see a proposal by someone who's experienced, who has 50 jobs, completed jobs, has all 5-star ratings, and then there's you. The experienced person is asking for $200 for the gig, and you're asking for $50 for the gig. Now, unless you have a very strong portfolio, unless you demonstrate to the client that yes, you can do this confidently, and you gain his confidence, unless you do that, you will not get the gig. Of course, he's going to go for the person who's more experienced. He'll be like, okay, man, I'm going to spend this extra money, but what I want is quality. What I want is reliability. I don't want to spend my brain on a beginner. This is what a client thinks. But yeah, there's also the fact that along with you, there are 10 more beginners who are applying as well. Maybe they're offering it for even cheaper. So these platforms, I wouldn't recommend it to a new beginner now. Not at all. Also, the fact that Upwork now has this connect system, you need to purchase connects in order to bid to projects. It's just gonna make you spend a lot of money and get you no results for a very, very long time. The way that I started was I underpriced myself a lot. It took me about a year and a half to build up a good profile on Upwork. And yeah, once I got some success, once I got some reviews, once I got some successful projects, that is when I was able to bid on bigger projects and gain the trust of those clients. If you are looking to offer your services, you need to realize that the most important step first is to be good, is to be extremely good at what you offer. So many beginner artists, what the mistake that they make is that they focus on portfolio first and then art second. I don't know why they do that. Those people are Jerry's, bro. And I know you're not a Jerry. So the first focus of yours should be to be extremely good at what you want to offer. Look at the other big creators, other big artists who are successful and are offering the same services, similar services to what you want to offer. And then be honest with yourself. Be extremely honest. Is your work anywhere near what they are producing? And until the answer to that question is yes, you need to keep improving. Now, Abraham Lincoln said, if you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I will spend the first 5 hours sharpening the axe. And the same thing goes for when you want to offer services. You should spend the first 5 hours, I mean, in this case, first 5 months maybe, improving on what you want to service, finessing, polishing your skills. And only once you have something that the market wants, that is the only time that you should step into the market. Now, being completely honest, my experience has only been on Upwork and Fiverr. The other method is using networking social media platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. And towards that, I do not have a lot of experience. And that is also why I enrolled into the program of my friend Aryan, which is the Digitally Enhanced Club. Now, I can either bombard my head against the wall and try to figure things out on my own, or I can spend a few dollars and learn from a professional who has already done it. And the main idea towards that is that you make a social media account, you put exceptional artworks in it so that it gets more reach, you get more followers. And the way you do that is by posting reels. Reels is what is going to get you the most engagement. So you find trending reels, you make something similar, and then you grow your Instagram account. And then once you are reputable, once you reach a big number on your Instagram account, leads are going to come your way, or you can outreach to companies who can benefit from your service. I'm still in the process of growing my own Instagram account. And yeah, when I get result with that, I will definitely share it on the channel. But yes, in short, answer to your question, definitely you can make a very good income doing what you love. It takes time. How much time? There's no guarantee to that. Sometimes you can get lucky. Sometimes you get a breakthrough very early. Sometimes it takes months. For some people, even years. But yeah, remember, the only time you lose is when you give up. If you never give up, you never lose. So just keep winning, brother. And yeah, to answer your second question, what do you think about AI in digital? Okay, I'm going to spark a controversy now. I believe AI is an extremely powerful tool. If you harness the power of this tool, it is going to benefit you in the long run. But if you don't, you're going to fall behind. Now, I know there's a lot of bad air around AI. Oh, it's unfair to artists, it's stealing their work. I agree. But I also feel there's nothing we can do about it. It's growing at a speed at which it's impossible to stop it. Also, if you look at what AI produces, bro, it's not something that should replace a seasoned artist. It may offend some people, but if AI is replacing you, bro, you suck. If you can be replaced by AI right now, you suck. Because no matter what, even when AI is being used for copywriting, it is only replacing the people who don't know shit about copywriting. And even when AI produces results, there is a seasoned copywriter who gives the approval. Okay, this one is the best one. AI is not something that can take away your originality. Never. It is just a tool that can give you a bunch of options and you can choose it from. Yeah, now there are tools that make really good 3D models from 2D images. but they're not perfect. They are not something that can be used straight away inside a game, and you will need an artist to give it a final touch to make it game ready or whatever. Now imagine that you want to make a character. You have an image in your head, but you cannot really draw or make a concept of it. You can literally ask AI to do it for you. And truth be told, it's not going to be perfect the first time. You're going to have to keep trying, keep iterating it, and then you're maybe going to get something that is close. Now you can use that as a reference for your sculpt or whatever. But if you have hired an artist, you can literally tell him, hey bro, everything is fine, just fix me the nose and it will do it for you. Whereas AI cannot do that. You cannot fine tune an AI. You can get a big picture of what you want, but the finer details is always going to be handled by an artist. That is what I believe. So yeah, the only way to not be replaced by an AI is get extremely good at what you do. Now, when calculators came, it wasn't the end of mathematicians, was it? It is just a tool that when they harnessed, it made it easier for them to do whatever. Or bro, even just look at Marvel, just look at Iron Man. He had Jarvis, a super intelligent computer. But who was the decision maker? It was always Tony Stark, wasn't it? Yeah, don't worry about AI, bro. Is it ethical or not ethical? That is a separate debate, all right? But what I believe is that if you use this as a tool, you can rapidly increase the way that you grow. I use AI for almost everything now. You know, you can even share a sculpt with ChatGPT and ask him, hey, can you review this for me? Can you give me some critique? Can you give me some feedback? You can even send him some images of an artist that you like. And hey, can you break down how could I replicate his style? What can I learn from his style? And then you can share your sculpt and ask him, hey, how off am I from my favorite artist's style? How cool is that? You can literally use ChatGPT as a mentor. This is something that I am exploring myself, and I'm encouraging the members inside my school to explore as well. And yeah, what they say is that they are getting amazing results doing it as well. It is just a tool that you need to harness. And if it replaces you, you suck. I just find that AI is extremely cool. It is badass, bro. And yeah, that is it with the Instagram questions. Let's move on to YouTube. So the first question that we have is, have you ever been paid to make characters? Yes, I have been paid to make characters. And yeah, just for transparency's sake and to give you a reference, let me show you some characters that I've sculpted and how much have I charged for them. So this is a scientist that I made on my early days on Upwork, and it was for a 3D printing project. So the amount that I charged now this was an hourly project, and the amount that I charged was $30 an hour. And the whole project was maybe around $270. 9 hours of work. And yeah, to be honest, bro, I could have charged way more if this was a fixed price project. I just feel that whenever it comes to hourly projects, I suffer a lot. That is because I work really fast. Okay, what maybe takes an average artist 3 hours to do, I can do it in an hour. And that is why now I just charge for fixed price projects and I offer a higher ticket service. Now this character exactly didn't take me 9 hours because there was a lot of iterations. There was a lot of design changes in the character. You went through a lot of designing process as well. So that is why it took me 9 hours. But to sculpt this in generally, I think it took me around an hour or two. So it wasn't that long. Another example is this really cute bunny. I even made an animation for him. I think that project was for about $250 if I remember correct. I also made this boar in one of my early Upwork projects, and this is when I used to underprice myself a lot. So I did this character along with a lot of its animations. So we had like an attack, death, hit. I did the character, the texture, the rigging, the animation, all of that for $150, which is ridiculously cheap. And yeah, this is the reality of Upwork, bro. Initially, I had to underprice myself a lot. And yeah, while I was working in that mobile game industry, all I did was make characters, bro. I was the only 3D artist in my company, and I used to make all the characters, all the rigging, all the animations, all the environments, all the props. So every 3D asset that went into the game was made by me. And yeah, the reality of that is that those characters were low poly characters, something that I wasn't really passionate about. The characters that I'm really passionate about is the ones that I'm making now on this channel. And unfortunately, so far, I haven't been paid to make any of these characters. I haven't found any gig that required me to make realistic characters. And yeah, to be honest, trying to give service in this area feels like I'm starting all over again because I'm building a portfolio from scratch. I'm building a profile from scratch. One of the most recent characters I made is this lobster right here. And yeah, this is a really big project. So it's the corrector, his accessories, his equipment, his animations. There's a lot, and combined, it's about a $1,500 project. And I've only been able to get this project because I have had a history of successful projects before this. But if you ask me about a history of successful projects in 3D printing, I have none. And I'm in collaboration with a 3D printing company right now. I'm making a free model for them in exchange for the experience of how to optimize 3D models, of how the workflow is. So yeah, to be honest, it is a blow to my ego. And I have to take it because this is something that I want to do and something that I have to learn. I don't have a 3D printer myself, which I can experiment on. So the only logical way is to work with other companies and just get the experience from them. So yeah, starting all over. Yeah, I hope I can make some money from this really, really soon. All right, so the next question is, where did you learn sculpting? And who is your role model? Also, what is your religion, if you don't mind sharing? Yes, I do not mind sharing. I'm a Muslim by the grace of God. And who is my role model? I don't know if you mean that as an artist or in general. In general, my role model is my dad. I look up to him. He has taught me everything. Yeah, he has taught me everything that I know. And I'm extremely grateful for the way that he has brought me up. Yeah, my dad is my hero. He's my role model. And in terms of art, to be honest, I don't have any. I'm trying to be a role model for my younger self. Yeah, that is the main mission I have with this channel, is to help my younger self. Because when I was trying to learn art, bro, to be honest, there was a ton of tutorials, there was a ton of courses, but no one ever talked about mindset. No one ever talked about being productive. And yet, to be honest, I'm disappointed in artists that they make these excellent tutorials, courses, but they never talk about discipline. They never talk about the reality of that, yes, art is something that is hard to learn. And all this is, yeah, practice makes you perfect. Keep practicing, keep practicing. Whereas that is not true. Einstein said that the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Yeah, that is what I was doing. I would watch a tutorial, skip it. I would start a course, maybe be active for a week, and then I would give up. And I feel that these are the main core things that needs to be addressed. The first person that I saw doing this in the art community was Aryan. And yeah, a lot of people, they hate him for this. But you know who the haters are, bro? They are the snowflakes. They are the people who cannot face reality. They are the people who like to blame things around instead of being accountable and taking responsibility. I believe, and what I tell other people, is that you are 100% responsible for the things that happen to you, whether you like it or not. And when you take accountability in your hands, and when you take responsibility for everything that happens in your life, you take away that power from everyone else around you. No one else has power over you now. Yeah, your family distracts you, wake up early. Yeah, your friends keep calling you for a game of Fortnite, block them. Stop associating with them. Yeah, I can't focus, I have ADHD. Have you ever thought that maybe it's because you're just too overstimulated by scrolling on TikTok all day? I don't have time, I don't know when to practice. Bro, go and check your screen time right now, and I bet hours of those go towards social media. But when you're accountable, but when you have the courage to accept that, yeah, I'm responsible for everything that's happening around me, you decide, okay, this is my situation, now what? Yeah, I have a distracting family. What do I do now? I wake up early. I have bad friends. What do I do now? I stop associating with them. I don't have time to practice, bro. Make time, bro. It's all about your priorities. So yeah, my mission with this channel was to help younger me. That is all. That is the philosophy that I have in every video that I make. This video is for my younger self. That is the philosophy that I have for every course that I make, every program that I make. That how would I have made learning this skill easier for myself? And where did you learn sculpting? Oh man, it's a bit ridiculous how I answered the question backwards. But yeah, where did I learn from sculpting from? I learned sculpting from a lot of different sources, to be honest. I bought a ton of courses. I abandoned a ton of courses. I tried the CG Cookie Human course. I tried the Victory 3D Witcher course. I tried Grant Abbott's courses on YouTube. But to be honest, none of them worked. And the reason that they didn't work was I had a weak mindset. I expected result to be overnight, the same way I expect that, okay, Fortnite, there's a new skin, and if I grind the whole night, I can unlock the skin tomorrow. No blame to the creators, bro. All blame goes to me. But yeah, there was some things that I actually did not like about those courses. For example, I didn't like the step-by-step method of the human course. It felt more like a recipe to me. Do this, exactly these steps. Follow these steps, you'll get a generic head. The person that I really enjoyed watching sculpting and the way that I wanted to sculpt was Speedjar. So I loved his content, loved his live streams. I loved the way that he sculpted. And naturally thought, okay, if I want to learn how he sculpts, I should buy his courses. So yeah, I bought 2 of Speedjar's courses, the Superhuman Anatomy and the Female Anatomy course. My sculpting journey actually started 6 years ago, but I never was serious in between. I was still doing these low poly stuff, these product renders, whatever, freelancing. And I've only started to take this seriously since a year and a half ago. For context, this is the first sculpt that I made 1.5 years ago, and this is the most recent sculpt that I've made. So yeah, I started learning from Speedjar's courses, and what I did was I made a promise to myself. I said that, okay, I don't care what the result is going to be. I'm just going to watch this course and I'm going to practice deliberately on the areas that I know requires improvement. I'm not going to be a Jerry. I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm going to be extremely honest about the things that need fixing and fix those areas specifically. And I'm going to practice every day at 3 a.m. in the morning for 1 hour. Okay? I believe that if you want to learn something, you need to have a routine. You need to know what are you going to practice, when are you going to practice. Because what happened a lot of the times with me is I woke up and I did not know what to learn, where to start, what time am I going to do. I just had this idea, okay, I want to be a character artist. I just want to learn how to sculpt characters, but I didn't have a plan. And that is why I procrastinated. That is why I had brain fog. But when you have a plan, when you write these things down that I'm going to practice this on this date, on this time, there's an 80% more likeliness that you're going to do it. So yeah, I set myself a routine, I set myself a time, and I just promised that, okay, I'm going to practice for 1 hour a day. Or if I cannot practice a day, I'm just going to speed sculpt whatever I can. Okay, just to revise whatever I've learned. And yeah, whenever I would come across something that I could not understand from the course, I tried watching tutorials from other creators, trying to get a bit of their concept. I watched documentaries, like real documentaries of real life skulls, how they work, how do they shape, whatever. Yeah, I scorched earth, bro. I tried looking at different anatomy books. I even watched people sculpt with the clay to understand a specific concept. And yeah, the amazing thing that started to happen was I started enjoying the process rather than the result. And whenever I would see that, okay, I can make the mouth a bit better now, I would just pat myself on the back. I can't really do it. I would pat myself on the back and I would be happy. I would allow myself to be happy, to take that as a win. Whereas previously what I used to do was I only wanted to be happy when I got the result, which is not a good mindset, bro. You should enjoy the journey. And as long as you're enjoying the journey, as long as you're enjoying the little wins, you're going to be a happy person. Yeah, I learned from his courses a lot. And whenever I would get stuck, I would look at resources elsewhere. And yeah, just by practicing every day, deliberately practicing every day, working on the areas that I know require improvement, instead of delaying that, okay, I'll come back to it someday later. No. I'm going to come to it today. That is when I started seeing real improvement. And yeah, that is how I've learned sculpting. I still consider myself to be a student. I just think that art is a subject that is never going to end. And I've just committed to be a lifelong student. I'm just going to keep learning this. By the way, I'm also going to be launching a newsletter and I'm working on this anatomy cheat sheet, which you can get for free if you subscribe to the newsletter. This cheat sheet is basically what I wish was the way anatomy was taught. You're an artist, you're not a doctor. So you only need to know a few things about anatomy that is going to enable you to sculpt very well. And this cheat sheet is going to do just that. It will teach you anatomy like an artist, not a doctor. Now the book is not fully complete yet, but if you subscribe, you will enter the waiting list. And there are going to be a few limited slots. So be sure to sign it up. The link is going to be in the description. Goodbye. All right, next question. What tips would you give to someone who has dreamt of this but have no idea and experience in this field? The best advice I can give you, bro, is if not you, then who? If you're not going to do it, who's going to do it? You need to realize that everything is a skill. Okay? And because it's a skill, it can be learned. Now, it's only a matter. You said that you dreamt of this, right? It's just a matter of how bad do you really want this. Like I could say, I want to learn how to speed cube, okay? I want to know how to solve Rubik's Cube really fast. That would be pretty cool, right? I want to do it. But do I really want it that bad that I want to sit down and practice and spend hours with it? If the answer to that is no, then I don't want it bad enough. Now, I have been a 3D artist for more than 5 years, maybe 6. And yeah, digital sculpting was a new area for me as well. Although I've been making characters, they are low poly characters. They don't require anatomy knowledge. They don't require you to sculpt. And learning sculpting all over again was something completely new to me. Yeah, just like everything else, you suck when you start out. Of course you suck. This is my first sculpt, by the way. It sucks. You can see the level 0 section of everyone inside my school. Everyone sucks in the beginning, and you can see the kind of sculpts that they are making right now. So the tip for someone who has no idea or experience in this field is that you set a goal and then you break it down into simple steps. You break it down into a routine, something that you can follow consistently and learn a bit every day, just a bit, even if it's for 30 minutes or an hour. I know it's extremely exciting. I know it's extremely tempting to learn everything on the same day. You wanna make the dream characters, right? You wanna make really badass characters, the characters that you admire. But the reality is this is gonna take time. And the sooner you start, the sooner you're gonna get there. I wanted to be a character artist for so long. Every year I would think, I want to be a character artist. This year I'm going to learn how to sculpt. This year I'm going to learn how to sculpt. And then the entire year went by and I just had this idea in my mind. The only time that I saw result was when I started taking action. Without any expectation of results. I did not expect any results. I didn't care. I just cared that every day I'm going to practice. I'm going to do something right. I'm going to do something in the direction where I want to move. And you want to know the sad reality what happened? I delayed it longer than it took me to learn it. It just took me a few months to get the hang of it. And if you need a step-by-step program, you can consider joining my school. I'm also offering 1-hour bonus calls for the first 3 new members to join, where I will sit down with you, listen to your routine, and give you an action plan. And we're going to work it step by step so that you can get the fastest results ever. The average member in my community starts getting results in a month. That is because I've literally done all the hard part. And what I do is I just make it easier for other people who want to get started. But of course, that is a paid route. If you want to invest in this, I will personally help you inside my school to get you started and to accelerate your growth. The free route is going to be much, much longer. I'm just giving you the reality. It's going to be much longer. Inside the school, you also get a community of artists who are all interested in the same thing. All we talk about is sculpting. And you have no choice but to improve. I am making an effort to make the free route more easier for other people. I've just uploaded a complete head sculpting course on YouTube. Though it is not for complete beginners because you need some Blender knowledge, how to navigate stuff, just a bit, not a lot. You can literally watch any beginner sculpting course and then follow the head sculpting course right away. I am also planning on making a complete beginner sculpting course, but of course those things will take time, and the best thing that I can offer right now is my school, because I personally help all the members inside and help them get result. So yeah, just break it down into simple steps, make yourself a routine, and every day take a step as small as it may be towards the direction that you want to move. What do you think about AI, and did you done 3D printing of your sculpture? Yeah, we've already addressed this. If AI can replace you, you suck, bro. And I think AI is really cool. It's a tool that you should harness right away. And to the second part, have I ever sculpted a 3D character of mine? Bro, I really want to. I've been in talks with this 3D printing company, a local 3D printing company. Now, they promised me 2 to 3 working days, and it's been 2 weeks now that they haven't shipped my sculpture. They haven't even printed it yet. And it pisses me off, bro. Like, why would you commit if you cannot deliver? So yeah, after a long back and forth with them, I got my refund of the amount that I paid them. and I'm trying to look for alternatives to print my 3D characters. I have these 3 characters, the Wolverine, the Xenomorph, and the Kratos model. And I really want to get them 3D printed too. I'll share a video as soon as I get them. Yeah, just wish me luck that I find a reliable source to get them done. What's gonna be your next course about? Yeah, the last month was crazy. I released 2 courses, one each month, the female anatomy course and the retopology course. The next course I'm quite confused actually. I'm thinking of either making a stylized anatomy course or a complete beginner course. I think the complete beginner course should come first because I see a lot of people struggling with simple basics, simple mindset, simple ideas, bro. And I think if I can make a course and also address the mindset part of it, where I can give you realistic expectations, where I can set realistic expectations for you, give you some good mindset tips, I think it can save a lot of time and effort to someone who's beginning or starting out. Yeah, my next course is probably gonna be a complete beginner sculpting course. And yeah, if you have any suggestions, just drop it in the comments. I would love to hear what you want me to create as a course. Hey, Ishaq, if you were to offer your services, how would you go about it? As a 3D character artist, of course. What services are you talking about? The rock eye. I mean, some people offer to take commissions on Fiverr, etc. How would you do it? Or at least how would you advise doing it? I wouldn't recommend Fiverr at all. If you want to sell your soul, then go to Fiverr. I know a lot of people, they have success with Fiverr, but my personal experience has not been good, bro. And also I feel that the clients who come to Fiverr has advertised itself as a platform where you can get really good stuff done for cheap. So the expectation that they come with is that I'm going to get something done for cheap. Like, for example, I made a Fiverr account just to try it out once again. I had a Fiverr account before it got banned. Something I'll cover in a future video maybe. Let me know if you want to hear the story. Let me actually show you some funny conversations on Fiverr. So here are some examples. Can you turn my pics into 3D models so I can make them into toys? Yeah, of course. And then he sent me these models, send me this as reference, same style. He asked me for a quote. I told him I can deliver within a week. It would be $350. He said, too much, bro. Oh, hi, my budget is $10. Come on, bro, ridiculous. You think I'm going to spend hours on this and ask you to pay me $10? This is not worth my time, bro. Any person who has self-respect would reject this. Here's another example. I want a 3D model of a cathedral. Can you do it? How much will you charge? Yeah, it was a super detailed cathedral, by the way. He wanted me to make this cathedral right here. And yeah, I don't really make buildings, so I was gonna outsource it to my friend Qasim. He's also a member of my school. He's also working on a YouTube channel, so you can check it out. He makes really cool environments. But yeah, I told him it was gonna be $350. He said, my budget is $25. Fuck off. And bro, my budget is... Sorry about that, I just get a bit emotional about these things. Yeah, this was the funniest one. Hey, Saab, can you help me? I need a 3D model of a human hand. And yeah, this is the reference that he shared with me. This is the hand that I want. And this is the pose that he wanted in the hand. And I told him, bro, it's gonna be $200 for the model. So much! I have $5 with me. So much! I have $5 with me. And I told him, bro, you won't even find a fingernail for $5. Yeah, I felt that was a savage reply. And then, yeah, he said, my budget is $5. I told him, sorry, bro, can't do. I told him, sorry, bro, that's not possible. Yeah, that is my real experience with Fiverr. I just shared my screen with you. The other platform is Upwork, which is better than Fiverr, but like I told you like I answered in a previous question, I don't feel that it's worth it. And the way I would recommend it is by being completely honest with you, is that I'm not in a position to recommend anything right now. I myself am learning from another professional inside the Digitally Enhanced Club. I'm learning from Aryan. And when I get some success, when I try those things out, that is when I can recommend you the best way of offering your service. What makes sense to me is to just focus on getting extremely good and also on growing a social media platform. So when you are really good at what you do and when you have a lot of eyes on you, that is when you get opportunities. You need to realize that there are people right now who make shit art, but they still make money giving services. That is because although the art sucks, they just have a lot of eyes on them. They have a really big social media platform or a very big network. The best way I believe that an artist can make an income is by being a content creator. That is just what I believe, bro. Because I just look around and every big YouTuber, everyone who's doing well in art, in the social media space, is building an audience and then has products that helps ease their experience, smoothen out their experience. So yeah, these are the I just believe that these are the two best methods. Is either you give your services, which is something that I'm educating myself on as well. I've had experience on platforms, freelancing platforms, but they suck now. Thing about freelance and services is that there's gonna be a time when you do it long enough, there's gonna be a time when you have more work than what you can handle. And that is when you start to outsource those stuff into your networks. So you pick a project, you get a quotation from some friend of yours, someone who knows can do it really well. Then you overcharge a bit. Let's say your friend said, hey, I can do this for $200. You say, okay. You offer the client $300. Then you give him the 200, you keep the 100. So this way, although you do not have the capacity to do a lot of projects on your own, you can just simply outsource them. And it's a great way of making income. I know people who have built companies doing this from one single Upwork profile. They were early players. They got into Upwork really, really early. I just want to be honest with you, bro. I'm learning this myself. So there's nothing I can recommend without seeing some results for myself first. If you want to learn this from a professional, you can join the Digitally Enhanced Club as well. I've seen people getting results inside. So I know it's a good place. And yeah, it's by Aryan, of course. He's credible. He's the top G of Blender. You get to learn from him. I'll leave a link in the description. But definitely, as soon as I see results, I will also share my experiences, and then I would give some really solid recommendations to you. And with that, we are done with the Q&A. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sending in your questions. I really, really appreciate you. And yeah, this is just the beginning. If you want to check out my courses, there's a link in the description. If you want to join my school, there's a link in the description. And yeah, with this said, goodbye, take care, and happy sculpting. Goodbye.